Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, The Moonlit Grimoire. My name is River, I'm a solitary Wiccan, and this is a channel where you can learn about anything witchcraft. If you read the title of this video, then that's right. I will be discussing my top 7 favorite books for beginner witches. First on my list is The Witch of the Forest's Guide to Natural Magic by Lindsay Squire. Unfortunately, I do not have a physical copy to show of this book because I read it as an ebook on Kindle. It was a free book, it might still be free, so if you want to check it out, hopefully it won't cost any money. I do have Amazon Prime, so I'm not sure if that affects it. I recommend this book for a beginner just starting out because it has the basics on herbs and several types of divination, types of witches, tools for witchcraft as well as alternatives, and the author touches on how to create a book of shadows, as well as the elements and the Sabbats. There are also many more things that are discussed in the book as well, and it talks about all of these aspects in a more modern sense. The author wishes that she had social media to get quicker answers when she was first starting her journey. This book is told as the author herself, giving you insight into her early practice as well as tips for what she wished she knew when she first started. The illustrations are adorable and very magical. The artist is quite talented and brings in such a witchy feel. Second on my list, this has been a very popular one for solitary witches. Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner by Scott Cunningham. This one I listened to as an audiobook, but I've been meaning to purchase a physical copy. I love Scott Cunningham's writing, and I would even go as far as to say that this book specifically is an essential guide to witchcraft. And it has a lot of emphasis on it being a book specifically for Wiccans, but I feel as though even if you're not a Wiccan, you can still get a lot out of it. This book touches on what paganism is, how to work with deity, how to work with altar tools, music and dance, preparing for and performing ritual, casting a circle, cycle of life and rebirth, initiations, and so much more. Cunningham also includes pages from his own Book of Shadows, as well as detailed descriptions on how to perform specific rituals. I feel as though this book is a great counterpart to Bucklands' Big Blue Book. I will talk about that one later on in this video. Third on my list, 21st Century Wicca, A Young Witch's Guide to Living the Magical Life by Jennifer Hunter. This is an older book, but I feel it aged pretty well. I was very happy to have stumbled upon this book because it is not a common one to find. The author's goal was to give you multiple viewpoints on the same subject. In order to do this, she interviewed at least 19 different people and inserted their quotes and experiences into each chapter. All of them were chosen because there were different types of pagans or witches, some solitary, some in covens, but each one because they could share unique different experiences about their own practices. The book talks about how to work with deity, do energy work, how to see and feel auras, working with altar and altar tools, working with the 5 elements, performing ritual, grounding and centering, and more. There are many exercises you can try in this book, and I don't believe too many of them really require tools. The book is separated into 3 sections: the maiden, the mother, and the crone. I thought that was clever because the book gets more in depth as you read through it. I enjoyed this book so much, probably because I'm a solitary practitioner, and I loved hearing about other people's experiences in their own practice. Fourth up, we have Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft by Raymond Buckland. This book is also referred to as the Big Blue Book. I do not have a physical copy of this book, unfortunately, so I can't show you how big it actually is, but take my word for it. It's big and it's blue. I added this one to my list because, like I said before, it's similar to Cunningham's Solitary Practitioner Guide. This book talks about a lot of the same things as the other one, but has some different aspects included. In some areas, it's more in depth, but in others, it's just a little too vague. Overall, it's still a good read. I do recommend this book because it touches on every topic that a beginner needs to know. Everything from Sabbath celebrations to spell and ritual. Next, we have Number 5. Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. I recommend the expanded and revised edition. This is my absolute favorite herbal encyclopedia because it has a lot in it. You can see how thick it is. If you watched my herb video about my favorite herbs, then you've seen some pages within it already. The beginning of this book fills you in on the power of herbs and how and when to use them, as well as what tools you'll need, visualization, basic spell procedures, how to make poppets, sachets, infusions, incense, and oils. The rest of the book is the alphabetical encyclopedia of each plant. And the back of the book tells you which plants have associations, like whether they're masculine or feminine, their planetary or elemental correspondences, and the magical intention of each plant. Number 6 on my list, Green Witchcraft, a practical guide to discovering the magic of plants, herbs, crystals, and beyond, by Paige Vanderbeck. This book is a great tutorial for anyone wanting to get into the more greener side of things. The intro of the book talks about what green witchcraft is, the power of plants, connecting with the natural world, healing the self and others, the elements, weather, animals, minerals, and crystals. Then the book goes into inviting and working with energy, working with flowers, the sun, the moon, and stars, moon phases and gardening tips, and many spells. It's kind of an encyclopedia scattered between sections of important reading, if that makes sense. It provides all the details needed for each plant and how to use them. 7th on my list. It's a big one. I think I got it. 7th on my list is entirely one subject, astrology. The Essential Guide to Practical Astrology by April Elliott Kent. I'm gonna put this one down because it's hurting my hand. This is how thick it is. It's a big book. I'm gonna keep this one brief, but this is the best astrology book I have ever read. It's like a full crash course in astrology, and even if you know nothing about it, this book fills you in. By the time you finish this book, you will know astrology. I have not finished it yet, sadly, but I plan on it because it's a great book. And those were my 7 favorite picks for a witch just starting out. They're not too difficult to read, and they answer many questions that you may have about beginning your practice. If there are any witches out there who's already been reading a bit, feel free to share any of your favorite books for beginner witches. If you want to, add that to the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. May your future be bright and guided by the stars. Blessed be.